too. The attitude of the football team is bothering me. Like the attitude of the team.
In what way?
These guys think they're too good to be here. The coach said it 3 weeks ago. Everybody thinks they can train with their guys, but we want them all in here. And then we heard a SiriusXM interview, and it really sounded like he was pointing fingers or whatever without pointing fingers because he can't because it's voluntary workouts. And then all of a sudden, all these guys are still like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. No thanks. Hey, do you need to go there? Jared, let me tell you about a salesman in America. If you were the best salesman in America and you were, you know what I mean? Like it's all, you know, it's all nothing. It's all fake. And that's where I look at this team and I'm like, I think these guys think that they're too good. I think these guys think they're too good. And maybe they are. Maybe they're so good that next year they'll show all of us. And I said to somebody right now, and I said yesterday, the Predators could win the Cup next year. You could stick the microphone in front of John Hines or David Poyle when they're putting the cup over their head. And I would I wouldn't expect it, but I would be okay with it. If they were like, you know,
you'd be okay if they won the Stanley Cup?
No, if they were like, screw you, Jared Stillman, when they put the mic in front of their face, I'd be fine with it. I wouldn't have a problem with it.
I mean, but those guys may feel like they've earned the right to not have to be there. And Derrick Henry could look at it and say, look, I had a 2,000-plus yard season not in the facility. I don't need to be there.
What was the word you said there at the start of that? Derrick Henry looked at it and said what?
Said I had a 2,000
First word.
season.
First word.
I.
Okay. I'm too good for this.
He had a 2,000-plus yard season.
Derrick doesn't need to go out there and, you know, do those drills that Traylon Burks can't get through to warm up and then, you know, run a couple of plays where they aren't allowed to tackle him or whatever. Derrick doesn't need that.
No.
Traylon Burks, who is clearly struggling with his conditioning, probably could use a little encouragement from Derrick Henry.
But also,
so we could sit there and say, like, hey, you know, it's not Derrick Henry's job to get Traylon Burks in shape.
It's not his job.
I would agree.
But he's not going to drop 15 pounds if Derrick Henry's sitting next to him. If he needs motivation from Derrick Henry to be fit.
Hold that thought, because I want to get to something next, because I'm not convinced you're right. We'll get to that coming up. Stillman and Company right here at ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Every Wednesday at 5, join us for Jared versus Joe as they debate all of the big topics in sports, presented by Parman Tractor and Equipment and Mayweather Boxing and Fitness on ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Staples stores are a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Explore more at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Partly cloudy this afternoon with a high of 92 degrees, and an isolated shower or two will be possible. Storms mainly hold off for Thursday.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Blood Assurance, this community's local blood centers, is hiring for several open positions in the Nashville area. Be a part of a company that helps save lives by providing the local hospitals with the much-needed life source of blood. They offer competitive pay, great benefits, paid time off, and retirement benefits. Blood Assurance has a family-friendly environment. Go to bloodassurance.org/careers. Again, that's bloodassurance.org/careers to apply.
The hottest financing offer is back at Genesis Diamonds. 5 years, zero interest financing with nothing down on practically everything in the showroom. That $3,000 Eternity Band is just $50 a month. Buy now, put nothing down, and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. Available till June 18th only. Get that $6,000 designer ring and pay just $100 a month. We'll even finance the sales tax. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable at Genesis Diamonds. Green Hills and Cool Springs on approved credit.
I can go from 0 to 60 way too fast.
Who knew electric vehicle owners were having so much fun?
20 or 30 years ago, I owned a gas sports car, and this car is much quicker.
It's a great, fun car to drive. When you put your foot on the accelerator, it just goes.
They're fun, they're fast, they're efficient.
Visit driveelectrictn.org to learn how you can start having fun driving an electric vehicle.
Sponsored by the East Tennessee Clean Fuels Coalition, the Tennessee Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Darren McFarland.
A lot of dots to connect there, a lot of storylines.
Willie Donick.
Be careful what you wish for.
And Chase McCabe.
Yes, because it's my favorite.
Get through your workday with Darren, Donick, and Chase. Weekdays 10 to 2.
Great three-man band live. Fired up.
Let's go. On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
I think they would love to see that.
Watch live on YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope.
When you see that, click on it.
Robbie Stanley.
To avoid non-contact injuries and not repeat last year.
Joe Rexroad.
Just wait until next year's national TV schedule comes out.
Robbie and Rexroad. Mornings from 6 to 10 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app. You're listening to Stillman and Company.
Sounds like this has been a game-changing day for all of us.
Presented by TriStar Movie.
On ESPN.
102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app.
Albert Breer said Monday morning quarterback, a lot of teams throughout the draft process were turned off of Traylon Burks' weight. How have you seen his conditioning kind of come along since he's come to Nashville?
Who said that?
Albert Breer.
I mean, we're excited to have Traylon. We feel good about each and every guy we draft. That's why we draft them. So, he's gotten better each day that he's been here. You can let Albert know.
There you go. That was Vrabel earlier today. Good question, Caroline.
Thank you.
So we're talking about the leadership and the fact that all these Titans aren't there. And now Gentry asked us. Congratulations to Gentry. I did not click the column, but I did see the headline was the Titans have too much invested in Traylon Burks not to be concerned. So I'm glad Gentry's concerned. But I'm talking about these veterans that aren't there, right? The fact that Lawan decided not to be there today. The whole defensive line's not there. Derrick Henry's not there. All these veterans that weren't there last week, and now there's other veterans that aren't there this week. And it's not their jobs. I'm not saying that it's their jobs to be there, because it's not, because it's voluntary and the collective bargaining agreement. But the coach can't hold them accountable and say they have to be there. But I'm saying if you're really a great teammate, you'll be there to set the example if you're really a great leader. And I'm going to give you an example. Charles Barkley, and a lot of the times, unlike the coaches and players, and you're going to get it straight from Charles Barkley. I mean, when he played, you were going to get straight from Barkley, but you're definitely going to get straight from Barkley now. Barkley was talking to Dan Dockich on Outkick, and Dan Dockich asked him how important Moses Malone was to Charles Barkley's career. Remember, when Barkley was in college, he was the round mound and rebound. And this is what Barkley said.
What was Moses Malone's influence on you?
He is the most important person in my basketball career. Dan, when I was at Auburn, I was having great success, but I was about 295 pounds. And, I led the league in rebounding all 3 years I was there. So I felt pretty good about what I was accomplishing. But when I got to Philadelphia, I wasn't getting to play. And I remember seeing Moses. Me and Moses lived in the same building. Well, Moses lived in the pit house. I lived way down on the bottom. Let's get that out the way. And I said, Moses, can I come see you tonight? I got some questions for you. And he said, of course, come see me. And I said, Moses, why am I not getting to play? He says, well, you're fat and you're lazy. And I said, what? He says, son, you're fat and you're lazy. He said, you got a lot of talent, but you're so out of shape, you can't work hard. You can't sustain it.
He said so many times that Moses Malone changed his career. And then he went over how Moses Malone changed his career.
He said, Charles, you can't play in the NBA at 300 pounds. And then this guy who was already one of the greatest ever, said to me, I'll work with you. So he says, let's get together in the morning. He says, let's lose 10 pounds. And I lost 10 pounds in the next couple weeks. But then I started okay. And he said, okay, let's lose 10 more. And now I'm at 280. And now I'm starting to play well. And then I'm starting to get the start. And we get to 270, we get to 260, and we get to 250. And at that, I was like, okay. And I didn't think about that. This guy made me lose 50 pounds. I didn't think I was 50 pounds overweight, but I was. And the rest is history. But for this guy to take me under his wing and meet with me every day before and after practice it was a life-saving thing for me.
Think about that. So when we talk about how can Derrick Henry being there help Treylon Burks? That's how.
I'm not saying that the veterans not being there is no big deal, because I do think that a veteran presence is important. I do think that somebody going out of their way to take someone under their wing and saying, this is what you need to do to be better, that makes the team better. If I got to choose, all of those veterans would be there, because I think that makes everyone better. But also to that, I mean, that's a great story. But also, is the Titans saying that Treylon Burks is out of shape? Is that not enough?
No. You don't think Barkley's coaches told Barkley that he was too fat and lazy?
It didn't sound like it.
My guess is that he had to hear it from Moses Malone. He had to hear it
if
from
your coach
somebody.
tells you have to lose weight, you are too lazy or else you will not play. That's not enough of a kick in your butt to lose weight.
Floyd used to tell me that he could tell players something and that he could tell them how to do something 10 times. But if a veteran player who had a little cachet came over and told him how to do it, they'd get it right after the first time.
And I think that's important.
By the way, try to translate this for me. This came from Robert Woods today.
Okay.
Quote, I know I'm a veteran and he's a rookie, but it's like I need him to compete with me so I can better myself. This is the highest level of football. It's not going to be easy for any rookie to pick up. Everybody is going to be challenged, but he's a great player, a great athlete, and we're going to need him. We're going to need a lot from him this season. I need him to compete with me so I can better myself. You know what I interpret that as? I watched the Today Show one time. I haven't watched the Today Show probably in 15 years. But I watched the Today Show one time, and they were talking about how you can help your overweight children. And one of the things was you change up the diet for the entire family, and you say that you're doing it for us, not doing it for you. That's what it sounds like from Robert Woods. I want you to compete with me. We're competing against each other. This is the highest level. I want you to compete with me. Just like Moses Malone told Charles Barkley, I want you to work out with me. I want you to be with me. And I love Robert Woods for that, and I think Robert Woods is a great veteran player, and I think Robert Woods is a solid player. Robert Woods is not the leader of this team. Derrick Henry carries a big stick.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeffrey Simmons carries a big stick.
Yeah.
And that's where I look at this team, and this is one of the things that truly bothers me, is that, again, if you do the minimum to get by, you do the average of what everybody else, if you do the average of what everybody else does, you know what that'll make you?
Average.
Average. And I feel like a lot of the I think when Vrabel talks about entitlement, I've been listening to Mike Vrabel press conferences for 4 years. I never heard him talk about entitlement until I heard that SiriusXM interview. And then he tried to tell me that he's been talking about it all the time and, that I just, whatever. I think this team's getting entitled. And I think he knows it. And I think it's going to hurt the younger players. And I think it's going to be the same problem that we had with the Predators when Peter Laviolette got the axe. And I came on the radio and I said, I think it's these guys are fat and happy. The guys like Joe Hansen and Ellis and all these guys just fat and happy. And that's where I think the Titans are right now. And I think that's why the coach has been so mad for the last couple of weeks. And now you got the star rookie taken in the first round who's literally fat. And that is a problem now that they have to deal with. And that's probably one of the lead reasons why I'm so bent out of shape about the direction of this team, is because I just expected better. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. We'll get back into your phones. 615-737-1025 here on the program. And again, at 5 o'clock, we got a big announcement, and it is quite interesting. But there's two big concerns right now that are coming out of OTAs that are very important to week 1 against the Giants. Which one's the bigger deal? Which one are we more bothered about? We'll discuss that next. Stillman and Company. Hey, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and 102.9 The Buzz and the Nashville Predators will host a 615-day celebration at Ford Ice Center, Antioch on Wednesday, June 15th. And it'll be benefiting the Boys and Girls Clubs of Middle Tennessee. The event will feature fun for the whole family while paying tribute to Nashville's annual 615 Day, an occasion that pairs Music City's area code with the date of June 15th. For more details and to bid on silent auction items, visit thegamenashville.com/615day.
You love the game.
Duchesne scores! Titans touchdown!
We live the game.
They did not make the playoffs.
Coaches are figuring out what his role is.
We are.
Terang, it's a high fly ball.
Learn a new offense.
Awesome game set.
Checker flag in the air.
The game. Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
The body is a machine by itself. Given the right ingredients, doing the right situation, some things can be healed naturally.
Football legend Emmitt Smith learned that pain pills and surgeries are only Band-Aids for chronic joint pain. A smarter, longer-lasting solution? Natural biologic treatments from QC Kinetics.
With QC Kinetics, it's that way. It's that natural process of allowing my body to actually heal itself.
With no downtime and no drugs, QC Kinetics regenerative pain treatments can repair and restore damaged tissue, bringing lasting pain relief in your knees, shoulders, hips, and lower back.
What I like about working with QC Kinetics is the natural aspect of it. The body has a way of reconnecting itself and re-healing itself.
Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
If you tried other ways, there's a new method.
Call QC Kinetics, 615-249-4024. That's 615-249-4024. QC Kinetics, 615-249-4024.
This segment of ESPN 102.5 The Game is brought to you by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
You know it's going to happen, and when your car needs service or repair, remember Mitchell's Mr. Transmission on Gallatin Road, just north of Briley Parkway. Now here's Jim Mitchell.
Our fleet vehicle program is a great benefit to all the fleet companies in Nashville. We are able to get their vehicle back on the road a lot quicker than the downtime of most dealers and most general repair shops, simply because we have the transmissions available. We're able to put priority on their vehicles to get them back on the road quickly.
You know it's going to happen, and when your car needs service or repair, remember Mitchell's Mr. Transmission on Gallatin Road, just north of Briley Parkway.
From the Hillside Medical Game Studios, WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne, Nashville's exclusive home for the Nashville Predators.
ESPN
102.5 and 106.3.
Terang, it's a high fly ball.
The leading receiver. Awesome game 7.
Checker flag in the air.
The Game.
A Cromwell media station.
Where you have a voice.
We're one play away from an injury.
He knows this. He's a study of the game.
And we have strong opinions.
He's been awful. I don't think they were trying, and that's why I feel the way I feel.
This is Stillman and Company with Jared Stillman and Caroline Fenton. Presented by TriStar Moving on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game now.